Hey guys. Hey. Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Hey. Welcome. Really excited about tonight, so welcome. Welcome. Welcome, guys. Welcome. All right, guys, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. So, welcome to STD Life Coach, Release Spivey's little live. I won't even call it little, but I'm having a live. So, every Thursday at 7:15 Eastern Time, we jump onto this live, and we talk about different topics pertaining to herpes simplex virus. As y'all know, I've been living with the virus for 9 years, and I've been able to have 2 children after having the virus, and also I was able to get married. I was able to start dating again. I was able to live again. And I'm here to share with you guys things that you can get through and also answer any questions or concerns that you have about herpes simplex virus. As we know, the virus has 2 types. So it has type 1 and it has type 2. As we know, those types typically those types describe the site. The type is no different from the other. They're the same thing. But the thing is, they tell you the location. So type 1 is oral, type 2 is genital. That's what it typically will be. But now the types are starting to switch and swap because at the end of the day, people are performing oral sex and things like that. So you can get type 1 genital and you can get type 2 oral, depending on whatever type that individual have. You can contract that virus with that type, quote unquote. Like I tell people, herpes is herpes. The type really don't make a difference. You really just want to know where your site of infection is, okay? That's important so you know how you can protect your partner, things like that, so you can be aware of that part, where many outbreaks, anything that you may have. Now, if you're an individual who do not have any outbreaks, not aware where your site of infection is for you just to protect yourself across the board. Taking, medication if you choose to, the antivirals, or choosing to do a natural route. But most important for you is making sure you disclose and just let your partner know, like, no, I do not have any outbreaks that I'm aware of. Just know that it's still a risk because I'm just not fully aware of it. But that's not a guarantee that you will get it. A lot of people always ask me, is it a guarantee that a person will get the virus? No, it's not a guarantee. There's no guarantee that they won't get the virus. So it's like more of a 50-50. You just never know. It truly depends on that person, if they're taking care of themselves, if they're aware of their outbreaks, if they're aware of their bodies, things like that. If they're taking anything, you don't have to take anything. Truthfully, a lot of people are like, you have to take the antivirals. No, you don't. You don't even have to do the natural route. You don't have to do anything. If you feel like you can thug this thing out and want to just run with it, you can. And that's not guaranteed that you'll give it to anybody. There's no guarantee that you won't. So that this virus is really interesting where it can be managed without any medication. It's not required to use any medication at all. So most people is like, you got to be on medication. You really don't. You can learn how to manage without medication. Now, if you're using a natural route, it can help you reduce your outbreaks to a point where you can get to a point where you're not having any outbreaks at all, or you can simply, soothe your outbreaks. So the natural route will basically just say if you take black seed oil or oregano oil, it can get you to a point where you are even adding, healthy eating, things of that nature, then it can get you to a point where you're not having outbreaks at all. Okay, as we know, if you're not having any outbreaks, your chances of passing the virus are really low. Okay. So that helps. So you're able to suppress the virus. A lot of people always ask me, but Lisa, is it a cure? No, it's no cure by the FDA. No cure by the FDA. Okay. But let's be honest. No supplements are even approved by the FDA. Let's truly be honest. Like, any of these supplements I said, most of them are not approved by the FDA, and they're making a huge difference with our bodies. So I'm going to tell it for what it is. It's no cure stated by the approved by the FDA, but it's many things that you can do to suppress this virus so much. Like, it's so many things that y'all see on YouTube and things like that. A lot of that stuff is going to help you suppress the virus. Now, many people have watched it, and even people came to me and said, okay, my test results are negative. Cool. My whole thing is this virus can get to a point where it's hiding. Not saying it's gone, but it's hiding. So if you're very aware of how HIV works, if you know anybody who's undetectable, it still shows up for them, but it just ain't undetectable. For us, our blood tests are based off antibodies. If the antibodies are not high enough, it's saying that you're negative. But it's not saying that the virus is gone. It's just saying that the virus is hiding and is not at a place of saying it's positive. So a lot of people always ask me that, oh, can you believe my test results are negative now? Is that saying I don't have the virus anymore? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it's not there. But if you can't see it, it looks like it's not there. So the thing about our test results are they're not accurate enough to let us know when the virus is undetectable. Can we still detect it? We're not at that place yet, and I really want us to get to that place. But it's probably, I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I got a feeling or something, but I'm going to ask somebody just to confirm. But at the end of the day, like the main blood test, which is the IgG and the IgM, are based off antibodies. The PCR is typically a swab of whatever sore, cut, whatever that be going on. You got the Western blot as well, which kind of goes in behind the scenes and kind of, I think it pulls up the DNA strand for you. And I know a lot of people had to do that because the test results are so wacko, but the Western blot helped them as well. And if you hear anybody, if you do any watch any videos on YouTube, most people say I did the Western blot to see if it was really gone, type thing. But like I said, these tests are truly being tracked based off antibodies. It's not being fully tracked by DNA strands or, anything like that, like many other, or cells or cell counts or white cells or T cells or all this other stuff. Like many other viruses are tracked by something that is very much you need, and you can see the difference. Ours is just based off antibodies. As we know, you can get antibodies for everything. And them antibodies can go up and down, up and down, up and down. So when you see your test results and you see this high number, it's not saying that you're going to have more outbreaks. It's not going to say you have any at all. It's just you have more antibodies at the moment. And as you go and you keep looking at your test results, they're going to seem like they're going down. They're going to seem like they go up. They can seem like they're going down. It varies. So those numbers don't really make a big difference, like we think they do, because they are just based off antibodies. The only time that we feel like those numbers matter is when you determine if you have it. As you know, if you have have a 1.10 or higher, you are positive. Anything below 1.10, you're negative. Now, if you're an individual, and I want to speak on this, if you're an individual who have a 1.10, it's very important for you to go back and get tested, because you're right on the cuff or a negative and a positive. Like you're right there. And a lot of people, this happened to them and they end up finding that they have a false negative. So it's very, very important to go back after 3 months just to see if, the antibody numbers go up a little bit or something like that to kind of confirm that, at this point you're full positive or you're just at the cuff. Now, what I will not tell y'all is, oh, your numbers are so low, it don't matter. You ain't going to transmit the virus. You're not going to transmit the virus. That's a lie. Positive is a positive at the time. So if you come back and your thing say a 1.10, act like you have herpes and make sure you take the precautions that you need to take. Now, when you go back to the doctor, if those numbers drop down and it was a false negative, then you can go back doing whatever you're doing. But don't sit here and just say, well, my doctor said nothing. That sounds good, but my whole thing, if you go in and acting like you don't have this virus and end up giving the virus to somebody, you're going to be devastated. I'm going to be completely honest. Use your own values. Don't use your doctor's values. Use your own values. If you've seen positive test results at the cuff for breast cancer, or the cuff, or if it's a pre-diabetic, what do? You take precautions and you do everything you need to do to try to lower those numbers or do whatever you need to do. You don't sit there and say, oh, I'm pre-diabetic, no big deal. No, you do what you need to do. You do what you need to do and you take the precautions. I know that's kind of like off the wall example, but I'm just saying, look how serious we take just early detection. So honestly, for you, this is early detection that, okay, you may or may not have this virus. So act as such until need be. Okay. Somebody said, if I eat healthy, will that decrease my outbreaks? I have persistent pain every day and I'm on no medication. Okay, so you're having this pain. Okay, so eating healthy is going to make a difference. Is it going to guarantee that your outbreaks decrease? That varies person to person. Like, I will always say, if you're eating healthier and you're alkaline in your body, you're going to see a difference in your body, regardless. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and promise that your outbreaks are going to be decreased, because you got to learn what's causing your outbreaks in the first place. If healthy even help you decrease, on top of you learning what's causing your triggers, that'll even add on. But if you're eating healthy and it decreases, but you continue to stress, or you have your menstrual cycle and it continue to come on, you're going to continue to have those outbreaks just because of some things that needs to be controlled. Sadly to say, you can't control your menstrual cycle only if you're on a birth control or something like that, and it gets to a point where it's kind of cut off or something like that. But other than that, your menstrual cycle ain't going nowhere until you're good and old. But for my individuals who stress or certain foods or things like that is triggers, then if you reduce those things, or friction from sex, making sure you're adding lubricant, things like that, if you reduce those things, then you shouldn't see as many outbreaks anyway. I think it's sugar and stress. Okay. If you know it's sugar, stop eating sugar. And I'm talking about artificial sugar. Every food has sugar in it regardless, even if you cook some, processed stuff. Everything we do going to have a little sugar. As we know, bread turns to sugar. All of this other stuff, carbs turn to sugar. So things like that. But you want to go where you're not adding any additional sugars. So, junk food is out. Sodas, out. Nobody's telling you not to eat it, but overall, it's just not good for your health. So I would tell you overall, just start changing your diet. And I don't like to say diet, but changing your lifestyle, because it is a lifestyle change. So it's very important to, let up on sodas or juice. If you drink a lot of juice and a lot of sodas, now let's reduce it to not drinking it every day, that you drink it every other day, and you increase your water intake. As we know, our body is 80% water. So you need to be drinking half of your body weight anyway. And most of us are not even drinking water. Okay. And stress. For stress, and I'm going to say this about us, as African Americans, and I'm going to say this for us, we suck at stress management. We suck at stress management. Like, we don't have coping skills for stress. We just stress. And honestly, it's killing us. That's why African American women are number one for heart disease and so many other things, because we stress. We put on the world on our back, especially if your mother, or you're raised with a single mother, or just being an African American or African descent of any sort. It's very difficult, or a person of color. It's difficult. So it's just the add in stress that we deal with on a daily basis. We gotta learn how to do stress management. So things that I could say that's really simple, but you must do. So number one, listen to music. If you love certain music, listen to it. I ain't talking about hard rock. I ain't talking about cussing and fussing. I'm talking about something that's relaxing. If you like old school, if you like gospel music, if you like classical, if you like jazz, something that is going to calm you down. Something that's relaxing. You don't even have to have no words. Just listening to the instrumentals, things like that to relax you. And you just lay down and relax. Another thing you can do is, where is it? I just bought this from the Dollar Tree. It's a coloring book. So if you're into coloring, and it's for men and women, my whole thing is, it ain't just women who like to color. Men like to color. My brother's a bad color. That man can color. I like this. Said, hope is stronger than fear. That's good. Hope is stronger than fear. So with that being said, guys, you can color. So you can put on your jazz, or you can put on classical music and color for a short period of time. Now, if you have kids, I know it's a little difficult, but what you can do is get all the kids together, or your kids together, and color together. Y'all put some music on, y'all color, talk about crazy stuff. Nothing serious, not too heavy, but something light so you can relax, okay? On top of that, working out. Working out is a big stress reliever for so many people. Put in your hood music, put your trap music on, put your twerk music on, and go. Some people like gospel music, but do whatever you do. For me, when I work out... Sorry, somebody called. So when I work out, I pray. In that midst, my heart rate go out the wah-wah. It kind of go out of my target range, but I be going because I be focused. So my whole thing is, you got to figure out pertaining to, working out. I'm not telling you go get a gym membership and all this stuff like that. You can simply go outside. You can simply go on YouTube and find really quick workouts. They got something simple, 5-minute, 10-minute workouts just to get your blood your heart rate up and just get you up and going, and also get you off, stop focusing on what you're focusing on. Okay, and another thing you could do is journaling. This works for, and everything I'm saying works for everybody, men and women. So journaling, if you like to journal, I have so many journals. So this is one. This was given to me when I got married. I got this one. I got some bites on it. Hold up. I'm sitting next to my bookcase, y'all. I got these for like 99, like 90 something cents. No, 50 cents at Walmart. Like, you go in the section, in the clearance section, and you can find notebooks like this that you can write in. Like, I got so many of those. It's ridiculous. But you can just write your thoughts, write what you're thinking. I don't care if you're angry, just write it all down and reread it to kind of see where your mind is, how you're feeling, things like that. So journaling is really good. If you're not into writing because you don't feel like I don't feel comfortable writing, I don't like writing, then turn your phone on and hit record and just talk. Literally, like, man, I'm so pissed. Like, and just talk about it. You may think you're crazy in the beginning, but you just need to get it out. And if you want to re-listen to yourself, that's fine. Some people are like, I don't want to do that. That sounds creepy, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But this is just a way for you to kind of like take everything out your mind and put it out, get it out. My whole thing, a lot of us keep stuff up here, and that's the reason why we're stressed, because thoughts are fighting each other. So it's very important that you kind of get everything out. So that's another thing you do. You can journal, you can read books. Like, so if it's any books that you like reading, you can read books. If you like, I like my hood TV, so I'll watch some hood TV time to time, or I'll watch something really funny, or I'll watch cartoons or things like that. Talk on the phone with your friends, play games on the internet on your phone. Like Candy Crush was a big one for me. I love Candy Crush, or I like those hide and find games where you just find stuff. Like, it's like all this stuff in the room, but you have to find it. I like playing stuff like that. So it's just different things that you can do. Most important, on top of doing those things to help you kind of de-stress yourself, it's important to learn what caused your stress in the first place. So is it your finances? Is it your love life? Is it your children? Is it your job? Whatever that is, you need to know what area of life that you're stressed in and see what you can do to change some things in that area. Sometimes we are really stressed because we're not doing what we can to change it. We're just stressed about it, but not really putting some effort behind it to change it. So for example, love life pertaining to herpes. Oh my God, I'll never find anybody. But you're not doing what you need to do to heal, which we're talking about tonight, is forgiving yourself. You're not forgiving yourself from not knowing any information about herpes, not knowing anything about sex. I have many young ladies come to me who are virgins and say, it's all my fault, I should have known better. What do you know and you never had sex before? Let's be honest. Anybody who ain't never had sex. Okay, all my people who are not virgin anymore, like, raise your hand. Okay, and then remember when you went back and you had sex for the first time, what did you know? Nothing. Like, truthfully, like nothing, So my whole thing is, like, we are in a culture that you're held responsible for everything if you know it or not. And I don't think that's right, because at the end of the day, we're in a place where people just don't know. We're really in a time that it's a lot of information, but a lot of our information pertaining to herpes is so all over the place, and all these things like that is just not right. So with that being said, I just want you guys to know, if you didn't know anything about herpes before you found out you have herpes, please forgive yourself, because you're causing yourself pain for no reason, truthfully. You feeling like, I got to take some responsibility. What responsibility can you take? You didn't know anything about it. You didn't know anything about it. If you did everything you thought you could do, if you got tested, you asked for them to test you for everything. You did not know that herpes wasn't included in the STD testing. Truthfully, you probably don't even a lot of people don't even know what's included in everything. So my whole thing is, you go in and you're only doing what you've been told. Go in there and ask to get tested for everything. And you did what you was told to you, thinking that you're protecting yourself and you're advocating for yourself, not knowing little things that you didn't know that will still put you in harm's way later on down the line. So I really want you to get to a point where you just accept the fact that I did not know. And that's hard to do when the world is telling her, you better take responsibility. It's your fault why your life looked like that. And it's your fault, da 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 da. But my whole thing, when are we going to say, that really wasn't your fault? You did everything you can do. So I'm going to tell you this today. It's not your fault if you did not know. And y'all don't want to say, well, you had sex. You right. But I felt like I was having safe sex. I was getting tested. I asked them they test results. We used protection, or if we chose not to use protection, we had did everything before. We were in a relationship on our own that I knew of. So I thought I was doing safe sex. So how are you still making me feel bad about doing everything that I thought I was doing right and still ending up in a situation? Right. So do that make sense? It really don't. I really want us to stop pointing fingers and making people feel less than in situations because we don't know their stories. I hear so much stuff all day long, and so many women are emotionally torn because they believe it's all their fault. They are taking all the blame. And you got to understand there was another person in this situation who was not aware or was aware and was scared to tell you, which is not right, but it happens all the time. Or you having a doctor telling them, oh, you ain't got to say nothing. It's no big deal. Don't tell nobody nothing. Everybody got it. So my whole thing is, as much as you want to be mad at that person, now that person was being malicious, they did some things to you, they've been abusive, they have been through stuff. Now I understand why you're mad, fully mad. But if you're dealing with a person who like, hey, babe, I really didn't know. I'm sorry. Why are you making them feel bad and treating them bad? Okay, I'm kind of going another route. And making them feel bad about themselves. You need to forgive yourself, and you need to apologize for making that other person feel bad if they gave this virus and they did not know they had it. My whole thing is you don't understand. They're going through it just like you. And if you are so scared to give it to somebody, they gave it to you. Just imagine what they're feeling, that they gave you something and watching you fall apart. And you are adding to it with your attitude, and you're blaming and you're finger pointing. How are you going to continue to point your finger at somebody who was not aware of the virus just like you didn't? They didn't know. So stop trying to have a reason to be mad. It ain't much you can be truly mad about because neither one of y'all knew better. I deal with so many people like that. I'm mad at him and I don't know how to get over it. You just have to accept the fact that he didn't know, and you want to have a reason to point. Now you got to look at yourself and ask yourself, okay, the man didn't know or she didn't know. Why would I continue to inflict harm on that person? It's not right, y'all. I'm going to call you for what it is. It's not right. And many people ask me, but Lisa, why are you not mad at the people the man who gave it to you? For what? Chances are he didn't even know. Most people didn't know. Now, if you know a person, they knew when they come to your face and say, I knew you had it, blah, 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 blah. That's the person you cut all the way off. You don't talk to them. Ain't no part of arguing with them. Ain't no point of trying to kill them. Now, if you're not going to prosecute them, well, leave them alone. Walk away. Don't stay with them. Don't think it can work out. Now, if they're the father of your child or the mother of your child, be cordial and that's it. Do not entertain nothing else. Because that person clearly did not care about you and did it on purpose. Okay? They don't have they're very nonchalant. They got a stank attitude like, well, yep, I gave it to you and you got a problem. Now, as for my individuals who, and I have been in situations like that where I didn't tell because I was scared. But when I did decide to tell, I was very apologetic. And you can tell when a person is very sincere about what they did and they know they were wrong, and people who just really don't give a hot flip to the flop. And you'll have many men and women who just don't care. And then you'll have men who and women who man, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you. It been beating me up. I know I need to tell you this. This is hard. And probably cry, but they're just I cannot sit here and not tell you. And that person is very genuine and sincere about what they did to you, and they want to apologize. And all they want you to do is forgive them. And honestly, that forgiveness is your problem, not theirs. Truthfully, if you never want to forgive them, that's fine, but they're not going to sit there and wait on your forgiveness either. They're going to move on with their lives. And for the same for yourself, you need to forgive yourself. Stop holding on to everything and think it's going to change. I'm sorry. Unforgiveness is deadly. It'll kill you. Literally, I truly believe it will kill you. It will cause you to be bitter. It will cause you to be angry. It'll cause you to be nasty and petty. It'll cause you not to trust people. It'll cause you to be snappy. It'll cause you to think that everybody's trying to be out to get you. All of that. No, not right now. Turn that water off. All of that. And if you see any of those things in you, you need to go figure out where that came from. And I'm sure it came from unforgiveness somewhere. I hear people all the time, I don't trust nobody. I don't trust people. Well, who you haven't forgave? Everybody liars. Who lied to you and you haven't forgave them? I can't trust no man. Who cheated on you? You need to check yourself. Like, if you're hearing things are coming out your mouth, you are not over something. You're not over something. And a lot of us don't want to say that, but I hear it all the time, even in myself. I can ask myself, like, oh man, I said that. It's because I'm still bothered by that situation. I'm not over it yet. And I need to get over it. Okay? I need to get over it. So I want to tell you guys, please, in this February, this is love month. I want you to focus on loving yourself. And I want to tell you, you cannot love yourself if you don't forgive yourself. If you're still holding yourself accountable for flunking out of school and thinking that you can't go back, like, you can go back to school, or you end up getting pregnant. Cool. Forgive yourself and move on. Like, life is not over. No, herpes cannot turn into HIV. I don't know who told anybody this. I don't know where this information is, but it need to be taken down. HIV will never... Think about this. If herpes can turn into HIV, and HIV got more support than herpes, don't you think herpes will be very much exposed and educated like HIV? Just think about it. You know what I mean? This is not to make you any type of way. But just think, if herpes turned into HIV, don't you know that herpes will be talked about as much as HIV? If herpes turned into HIV, herpes will be talked about just like HIV. Herpes not on the map because it don't turn into HIV. HIV and herpes are two different viruses. Completely two different viruses. And if your daughter... Okay, I want to say this, and I hope you don't take it the wrong way. A lot of us hear what we want to hear, okay? And I'm not saying that your doctor didn't say that, but doctors use some terminology that sometimes we don't understand. And this is just in broad. I don't want you to feel no type of way, okay? But doctors use terminology that we don't get, or we're so scared in a moment that we hear two words and just smush them. Most doctors will tell you, herpes increase your risk of getting HIV. Increase your risk of getting HIV. They didn't say herpes, you will get HIV. It said increase your risk. You know. Oh, nah, I need to be clear. Oh, no problem, sweetie. I just didn't want you to be offended in any way, thinking that I was, like, picking on you or anything like that. I never want anybody ever to feel like I'm offending you in any way, okay? And if I do, please say something like, please, I ain't like that. I didn't mean it, but at the end of the day, I want us to understand, when you are in a doctor's office and you're frantic and you're crying and all this stuff, sometimes you just hit an HIV word and you freak. Even though your doctor's telling you, hey, I'm not telling you got HIV. I'm just telling you at a higher risk now. You need to make sure you get tested. You need to make sure your partner get tested. Things like that. But sometimes we don't hear it just because we're scared. And even I have many people say this to me, and they even read it. And I'm like, no, it's a higher risk. It's not a guarantee that you'll get HIV. If you don't come in contact with anybody with HIV, you will not get HIV. Same way, if you never came in contact with anybody with herpes, you will never get herpes. It's just, the simple way there. But that's a good question. I get that question all the time. No, herpes do not turn into HIV. And if it did, y'all, just know we would have known about herpes a long time ago. Right now, y'all know we do not play about HIV and AIDS. So it would have been very much worldwide. And CDC have been on it if that was the case. They really would have, because it just would have had the backing. Because at the end of the day, herpes, millions of people get herpes every day. 2,000. This is just a rough number I found. And this was a couple of years ago. 2,000 people find that they have herpes every day. New cases every day. 2,000 people. And I think that's just in the U.S., y'all. That's just in the U.S. Just imagine how many more people are finding out and they're not documented fully. I tell people documentation and research is interesting. Stats are interesting. You got to kind of know how they get the stats and who they're getting the stats from and, things like that. So this is just a stat that I did find, not saying that it's stating for the whole world, not stating that it's picking one group out. I don't know how they group that information together, but with the information I found, they said it's 2,000 people every day. Per day. 2,000 people are getting herpes every day and thinking that they're going to get HIV, or thinking that their life over, or thinking hopeless, or thinking that their love life is over, thinking that they're going to give it to everybody who's there around. Let me tell y'all something. Let's kill these myths real quick, okay? Let me kill these myths. You will not get herpes from a toilet seat. Listen to me. Y'all know if we got herpes from a toilet seat, you know how many times we sit on a toilet seat when we were little kids? Come on, y'all. You know your mom's like, get your butt off that toilet seat. It's nasty. But at the end of the day, if that was the case, y'all, we would have had herpes in our booty a long time ago. It would been all on our butt. So no, it do not. Now, I will share with you that the virus can live on a surface, but, let me hear, but it doesn't stay on that surface long. This virus thrives. It thrives in a mucous membrane, and it thrives. It enters through the mucous membrane, which is, you know, it can be on your hands. It can enter through your eyes. I'm telling y'all the truth. Cheeks, nose, upper lip, chin. I seen people that had it on their stomach. You can have it on your buttocks. You can have it on your lower back. Anywhere in the genital area, thighs, things like that. So it's mucus. It's soft, juicy, okay, areas inside your mouth, things of that nature. So it enters through those areas, and it attaches to the nerve endings in the body. As we know, a toilet stool don't have a mucous membrane, and a toilet stool do not have a nerve. So it's going to die. Okay, so it's not going to last long at all on a surface. Okay, it's not going to do that at all. You will not get it through a hot tub. Okay, y'all. If that was the case, y'all know how many times hot tubs wouldn't exist if we were getting viruses through hot tubs. I'm going to be honest, they would not exist. But we got to remember how hot that water is. That water is scotching. I have to disinfect the toilet every time I use it. No, you do not. No, you do not. No, you do not. You're not passing no virus. This virus is not going to go through no toilet. You just being super clean at this moment. Ain't nothing wrong being super clean, but that virus ain't going to get passed through no toilet stool. Period. And let's be completely honest, like most people's outbreaks ain't even on like that area of their butt. So even if that was a thought, quote unquote, even if that was a thought, as we know, this is skin to skin contact with the infected site area. If you don't have outbreaks there where you sit down, you still wouldn't pass to the toilet. Because most people don't even have their outbreaks there. I'm not saying everybody, but many people that I have talked, thousands of people that I don't talk to, never have told me that they had outbreaks on the area that they sit on the toilet. You know what I mean? So, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Now, if that's a personal thing that's going on with you, then I can't change that. But at the end of the day, nobody's going to ever get a herpes from a toilet. Nope, not from a hot tub, not from a towel, not from a rag, not from no soap, not from no, now, I'm thinking about a toothbrush. Now, for example, in straws, okay, I'm going to say this. Okay, I'm going to say this because most people are like, well, you can get herpes for saliva. Let me explain to you. Only if that person is having an outbreak at that given moment. If they're having an outbreak and that fluid gets into that saliva, that is just a traveler. It's just using it as a host to move the virus. Okay, it's possible. So if you are having an outbreak at the time, no, don't share cups. It's just like having the flu or having a cold or having a sore throat or strep throat. You don't share it because your saliva carries that bacteria or it carries that virus. Same situation, y'all. We need to not overthink this. The same way you wouldn't let your children drink after you if you had the flu, it's the same reason you would not let your children drink after you when you have an outbreak in your mouth. That's just that simple. It's that simple. And we need to just not overthink it. The same way you wouldn't let them do that at the time, the same reason why here. Not because it's a never, but it's just during that time, it's a no. Because at the end of the day, that saliva can carry the virus. Okay? That's just to clear that up. It's not every day. It's only when you're having an outbreak at that moment. Okay? Spammers are calling heavy tonight. Okay? So that's that. All right? And what's the other one? Yeah, so the saliva can carry it only when you're having outbreak. You know, when you're having that physical outbreak. As we know, when you're having a physical outbreak, it's most contagious. Shedding, it is contagious as well. But when you're having a physical, you can see it. You having symptoms is very, very contagious at that moment. Okay. And this is information that's when it's most contagious. Same way if y'all think about chickenpox. Chickenpox is really, really contagious when you see it. And they tell you, don't touch it, don't touch it. You can spread it to other parts of the body. Same thing. Same thing with herpes. You can move this virus to other parts of your body. So you got to be careful. Hand washing is vital. That's it. Nothing but washing your hands. As soon as you touch it, wash your hands. Soap and water, warm soap and water, and that's it. Many people, I will tell them when you're putting on the coconut oil, tea tree oil, you know, putting any oils or any concoctions that you create on your sores, use Q-tips. Simple. Use Q-tips and throw them away. Simple. Okay? So you don't have to touch it all, but still wash your hands. You're supposed to always wash your hands after anything like that pertaining to any bodily fluids. You're supposed to always wash your hands. That's what you're supposed to do. So same concept, y'all. We're kind of overthinking this thing. This is stuff that you do anyway. These things that you're supposed to do anyway. Every time you deal with any bodily fluids, you're supposed to wash your hands. Even when you go to the bathroom, you wash your hands with soap and water right after. Same way. Same way, y'all. Don't overthink it, please. Y'all, I think we're truly overthinking what we do anyway every day. You're just being excessive and you don't have to be. You do that, you're fine. Okay? Anybody have any questions? I know I talked a lot, but I kind of want to get all of that out here because I know a lot of people have been kind of asking me those questions in my inbox and things like that. So I wanted to get that out. I wanted to get out what I wanted to talk about today pertaining to you guys forgiving yourself. You must. In this love month, to love yourself, you must forgive yourself. You can't say you love yourself if you have not forgiven yourself. And that's something I learned from my first lady today, which y'all know, my church, which I'm so blessed about, they sponsored the Overcoming Gathering Tour in Atlanta for me. So she talked about that today, about forgiving yourself, and I completely agree. You can't say you love yourself if you haven't forgiven yourself. You can't tell yourself you love another person if you haven't forgave them. How can you love and hate at the same time? You got to pick one. Got to pick one, guys. Got to. They don't dwell together. They don't dwell together. One is going to overpower the other. Always overpower the other. So any questions, guys? Questions. As the questions are coming in, just know the Overcoming Gathering Tour is creeping up on us. Atlanta starts on the 22nd, 23rd. If you're in the Atlanta area, if you're in Georgia, I would love for you to come out. On Fridays, we have the one-on-one sessions. On Saturday, we have the educational day. If you can't make it on Friday, it's okay. You don't have to worry about that. That's $120 for the private session and that. If, and I'm going to put this out here, if you cannot make it on a Friday, but you still want a private session, I will still give you that private session, but I will do video with you. Okay? Because I know a lot of people are like, well, I can't do blah, 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 blah. You will still get it. Okay? I'll still give it to you. So if you want to do both, I will still give you both. I will do a live video with you for 30 minutes. We'll decide on the time and we will do that live, and then I will see you the next day at the educational. So if you can't come to Saturday, that's fine. We will just still do that still do that one-on-one on that Friday. Or if we have to move the date early into that week or something, I will work you in, okay? Because I know some people's like, well, my schedule is kind of reckless, but I still want to do a one-on-one. You can still do the one-on-one with me, okay? Okay? I don't want y'all to think y'all can miss out. You won't miss out on that, all right? And then it'll come the educational. So $120 for both, $65 for just the educational event, okay? So for the past 3 days, I've been feeling stinging, but I'm not having an outbreak because I don't feel one, see one, or feel one. You do feel one. That's stinging. That's a symptom, sweetie. But you got to also understand that it's so many things that can cause stinging. It could have been you rubbed yourself too hard and you need to drink more water and your urine needs to be diluted and it's burning. It's so many things. And for you telling me this, I got to have to ask you so many more questions to kind of figure out what you mean by stinging. You know, are you saying when you pee? Are you saying it's just stinging while you're sitting? It's so many things to ask that. But as we know, you're feeling something now. And we got to understand outbreaks are feelings. That's tingling, itching, stinging, burning, itchy. All of that are feelings. That's a symptom. That could be a symptom, but that can be a symptom for anything. Okay? Anything. You really need to go to a medical conference where there are hundreds of doctors. You'll take time to explain and show compassion. These doctors are so cold. Doctors need to hear you. I know, girl. If you know some doctors that, girl, look. Since you said that, find me some medical conferences and send them to me. Inbox them to me, for real. If you run anybody out, if y'all run across any conferences like STD conferences or anybody talk about STDs or anything like that, any doctor's conferences, please, my DM is wide open. Just copy the link and send it to me. And I'll say thank you, and I'll run and go look into it because I got to do a proposal tonight for an STD conference that's coming up in Atlanta in October. So with that being said, guys, if y'all see it, please tag me in it. Please, please, please. I can't find everything all the time, you know. So if you see something, tag me. Please tag me or say, oh, you know, Belize, just DM it to me. I don't have no problem. My DM is open. All right. Anybody have any more questions? We got a couple of more minutes. We're going to close out at 8. So anybody got any more questions? Any more questions? All right. As the questions come in, as y'all know, I still do one-on-one sessions. If you need them, you know where to find them. Okay. So this is... Any questions? I'm trying to give y'all some time to type. Ew. Yep. If y'all want to do any sessions with me, y'all know I got various sections. Reading your test results, quick questions for 20 minutes. I have disclosure. I have couples sessions. I also have an hour session. That's my most popular one as well. He said, when you wear your shirt, do people ask what it means? Is it a conversational starter? Yes, like, honestly, most people just look at me. Most people just look at me. Like, well, this shirt today, a lady asked me, she was like, Team Jesus. I'm like, yeah. She said, what church are you a part of? I'm like, oh, no, we did a vacation Bible school. I like wearing shirts because it get people to talk. And also, you just never know how you're impacting somebody. I don't know who this lady was. I don't know where her relationship was with Christ. But me just seeing this shirt could have sparked something in her. I don't know. I love shirts. But when I wear my shirts like rebranding herpes, or ask me about herpes or overcomer shirt, people just look at me majority of the time. Yeah. My overcoming shirts, like, people look at me most of the time. Most people don't say anything. They just look at me. So half the time I forget that I have the shirts on. So people just look at me majority of the time. Now, when I wear them to different conferences, because I wore my Ask Me About Herpes conference shirt when I went to a HIV summit, and they were talking about the PrEP. It was interesting because I built a really big connection with the director of infectious disease because she liked my shirt. So... it worked. It worked. If you want to do sessions at bit/I have it. So I'm excited, guys. I really want to see you guys at the tour. So if you're in the Atlanta area, you want to come out. If you just want to come out on a Saturday and come up and go back, I would really appreciate to see you guys because I'm really, really excited. I'm really trying to get everything together for you guys. It's going to be fun. Y'all going to learn how to disclose and things like that. So it's going to be really, really fun. I think I'm getting an outbreak, and I haven't had sex in like 3 months since I got diagnosed. And I'm so scared. I don't want to be in that pain again. Okay, I know. That is so scary. Like, that's so scary after not having an outbreak in so long. But just know, not having sex doesn't guarantee that you have no outbreaks. A lot of us believe, like, well, I'm not doing anything. I shouldn't have any outbreaks. But that's not completely true. Outbreaks are not always, affected by having sex at all. It's stress. It's certain foods you eat. It's your menstrual cycle. things of that nature. Stress is our biggest one, but it's stress, food you eat, menstrual cycle, friction from sex. That is our main ones. Or emotional, mental, or spiritual distress. So if you're dealing with depression, you're dealing with anxiety attacks, you're dealing with panic attacks, all of that stuff can cause your body to jump because it's based off your nervous system, okay? And it's out of whack. Okay, and I know you're scared, but at the end of the day, I know you don't want to be in the pain. So what you can do is, if you think you're about to have an outbreak, jump on your antiviral or start your natural supplements, okay? Soon as you feel like you're having an outbreak, jump on your regimen. It'll cut the time down, or even cut it and it don't start at all, okay? Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. Anytime, sweetie. I'm honored to serve you. I'm honored to serve you. But go ahead and get on your antiviral or whatever, home remedies that you do. Jump on them now. Jump on them now, and it's going to help you. Hey, Pooh! So jump on them now. She said, it's crazy that you see that prep commercial for HIV, but you can't even say herpes out loud. It's because HIV did the work. They did the work, y'all. We got to be honest. They did the work. We ain't did the work yet. We want to see some difference. We do the work. Hey, boo. I'm proud of you. I'm super proud of you. But we got to do the part. So that's why I'm standing up and doing something. It's so much stuff going on with hands. I'm part of a group that got like 20 herpes activists in it, and we're about to run hard on some things that we want to do. So keep watching. We're working all together to do some things. So don't think nothing is happening. Things are happening. Y'all just got to give us some time, and y'all have to also fight with us and educate. If you see anything pertaining to herpes, put a link down, y'all. Say, no, y'all, that ain't true. And give them sources. And don't try to fight fire with fire. Don't argue. Don't bicker. Sources. Proper sources with proper information. Or y'all can send me. I'll go. I'll do it. I'll do it. Oh, you said I do have my period. Well, that could be a trigger for you, sweetie. That could be a trigger, or it's probably why I have the stinging. I'm not quite sure. It's so much going on pertaining to you. And me and you need to just talk for real. Talk. And hopefully we can do that this month. And I tell you guys, like, talking to me helps because I can literally get in your business and kind of figure out what's going on. So it's hard when they throw shade at celebrities. The regular people don't stand a chance. I won't say that. I stand a chance. I fight. It's 20 other activists we're fighting. And we go at people all the time pertaining to it. It's just, we got to understand celebrities, they have a brand. They got people who they work for someone. They work for these companies, and they have these agents and stuff, and they're trying to keep a brand, and they try to keep them out of stuff for the sake of the brand and money that they can make. So as much as we want celebrities to say things, they don't have to, guys, because depending on their brand and what they want, most people don't want to be attached to certain things, not even if it could be a positive thing. Some people just don't want to be attached to certain things. So we can't knock them for that. That's their job. That's how they eat. So when you have people like me and Janelle and Courtney and so many others who do this, and where is she? I have another young lady over here, and she jump on here all the time. Hold on one second. I can't remember her name, but others on ladies or guys who are doing this, just know we're standing out here and we're doing the work. And we're risking ourselves as well. But at the end of the day, you got to just understand that they have regular jobs, y'all, and we can't expect them to do everything. That's why us as regular people can make huge differences in life, because at the end of the day, we have the ability to. We don't have a certain job hovering over our head, controlling our lives to a certain extent, depending on what, branch you're in. Now, if you're dealing with certain things you can't talk, don't risk your job. Especially if it's something you like to do and, it's taking care of what you need to take care of. But if you're in a predicament where you can simply share knowledge and, correct people, then do it. I mean, we all can still do that. It's just say, no, read this and tell me what you think about it. And we can have a discussion, So I love you guys. I hope this helped in so many ways. We're at 8:06, so I hope this helps. If you have any more questions or concern, hit up my DM and I will answer those for you. But once again, I'm excited. This video was sponsored by my church, the Life Church in Forest Park. If y'all want to come out to service with us at 12 o'clock on Sundays, y'all can come and worship with me and my church family, Pastor Chaz and First Lady Charity Estelle. I love them dearly, and they have literally helped me change in so many ways. So that's that, and I will see you guys soon. See ya.